Hey guys, welcome to Broomer. So, I did say last year that I wanted to make stories for YouTube. You know, sort of like cinematics, but not cinematic. It's not going to be crazy because I'm not an editor. I don't know how to do mumbo jumbo like Heavy Burns does because that dude's a wizard when it comes to creating videos. Or even Fudge Muppet. They do some pretty cool lore shit. Now, my stories are kind of going to be based on a novelization of Skyrim's quest, done by many different characters. Because it's kind of weird that one character, the Dragonborn, does all and masters all, that sort of crap. This will take place over many different characters, guild characters, Civil War characters, the main character, that is a Dragonborn, and side characters that kind of make Skyrim's, well, makes it fit a bit more. And one of these characters is right in front of us, in her younger version, Cecilia. Cecilia in my game has got a morphed face, bloodshot eyes, and is a 200-year-old vampire. Luckily we have Beyond Skyrim Broomer for a little bit of a, well, it's more of like a 30-second showcase of her just leaving. But her story will be pretty much a year or so, or a couple of years after the events of the Oblivion Crisis. So this is her younger look, her fledgling look, her turned look. As you see the weapon and her shield, what kind of era she comes from. And she basically, well, yeah, I want to do her story, how she comes to be. Now, how I get that actually done is pretty cool, with the mod called The Course. It's a Creation Club mod, but it's kind of a mod where you chase down and kill a bunch of Mythic Dawn agents that are trying to create a new gate, and it kind of really fits into her story, it being a prequel, because I can fit that story into that they are surviving members of, the Mythic Dawn that haven't been hunted down or killed yet. And Cecilia's on their tail, because, it's kind of what she did. Not exactly, she was anyway, well, there's a lot more of her story as a mortal that I'm not going to get fully into, because that will be for Sky Oblivion, and she's a supporting character to the main character. But, yeah, she's on the hunt. So pretty much she'll be on the hunt for the Mythic Dawn agents that pretty much set the world on fire. And it leads her to Skyrim. And that's kind of going to be the prequel of the story of how she came to be. In Skyrim, 200 years before she was called by the Elder Scrolls to help with the Dragonborn save the world, and how she kind of trains her to fight vampires or fight dragons, because the Dragonborn this time will be just a sort of amateur when it comes to combat. She's hunted vampires. She's even fought a dragon this time, not knowing she's a Dragonborn, but with two other very powerful vampires that are both vampire lords. That sort of thing. So, I want to explore sort of, pretty much what I want to do with Skyrim is, like I said, I want to tell a novelization of it, or like a series, where it's not just the one character that does all, it's many. And over time, their stories will grow, and eventually their stories will finish, not finish, they'll do their own thing, they'll live their lives. And then dragons will start flying, and the Dragonborn will come. And these characters that have done all these crazy quests will eventually, start coming to the aid of the Dragonborn and realise that, holy shit, they're dragons, and these things will destroy cities and towns. Noise. And, yeah, so it's going to be like sort of, I don't know how many chapters there are. I know what the story's going to be like. I had the chance to finish it, but I deleted my Civil War character, so I couldn't finish it. Which really sucked, but it was a good first run on the story that I wanted to do, and I enjoyed it. But again, I started a new save. I now want to tell a story, and the first one will be Cecilia here, kind of, as she went from Cyrodiil into Skyrim. So there's actually there's a couple of things I want to do. Now I want to, have these guys, but the problem with these guys is that they're wearing new Legion armor. And I see the new Legion armor is something the Empire made either before or just after the Great War, because they needed some new armor. Now, I'm going to download authentic Legion armor, which is kind of the shield I have on my back right here. And all these guys are going to be wearing the old Imperial styled armor, which will be cool, because it'll make a lot more sense when she's walking through the gate. That, she will be in the right era when I walk through this gate into Skyrim during, say, the first year, the year 1 of the 4th era. Maybe the year 2. Maybe, who knows. But I want Skyrim to feel like it's, during an entirely different era. Or during the start of the 4th era. No one alive in Skyrim is alive, unless it's an elf. But that is what I'm going to try and do. And I do want to make them look nice. I don't want to make it look full gameplay-like. Like I might turn the HUD off, or I might put God mode on so you don't see the health bars and all that sort of crap. And I'll be able to have it voiced with AI, sort of, you know, that sort of thing, and explain sort of the characters, or as soon as I don't know, maybe small chapters which might introduce newer characters. And so Cecilia's supporting character will be a Skyrim Redguard mercenary. Eventually gets ambushed by vampires, kills a few of them, gets taken by them, and turned into a vampire herself to kind of refill the ranks that she took. And Cecilia will come to rescue her. Well, not rescue her, she'll come to kill the vampires and find a newly turned vampire inside of a cage that, you know, she won't put down. And maybe when we rescue her, we'll explore her backstory with that sort of chapter. That might be a thing to do, because I've been trying to think, how do I introduce smaller characters? How do I tell their story? Not all of them will have a backstory, especially the Dragonborn's companions, the ones that travel across all Tamriel. They might just be here for mercenary work. They might just come for honour and glory. It all depends. So this is the main goal of what I'm trying to do with this. I want people to actually watch this and feel like they're sort of like reading a book or watching a TV series. You're not going to watch a TV series, but it's going to be a story that feels a lot better than just go here as a Dragonborn, do that, do this, do that, before you're a Mary Sue. Anyway, that's the plans, to make a sort of novelisation sort of story that people will enjoy watching on YouTube, kind of looking at Skyrim or playing Skyrim in a very different way, and hopefully it inspires other people to craft their own big stories, or take elements of mine and craft their own with their own characters. Instead of Cecilia being a vampire female, it could be a Nord vampire male, an older one, who knows, but hopefully you guys will enjoy this when I get it all started. I'm quite excited to do it, start the cause up and, you know, hunt down some old enemies, or, you know, fleeing dogs from that try to destroy all Tamriel. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you will enjoy what's to come. Anyway, peace out.